the number one thing women crave much more than love. If you've watched this channel before, you probably think you know what it is. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. As guys, it's obvious that women are wired different, let's say. Men crave connection and love as well. We go about it in a different way. If most of us are really honest with ourselves, without cultural programming or hypnosis of society, we want to be respected. We want to show up as who we really are, not portraying something fake, or maybe sometimes we'll portray something fake because people think we're that. But we have a need for love and connection. However, it shows up different for women. It's obvious to guys, even if guys are wildly confused by women, that women are different. That's why as men and women, we have such fun understandings or misunderstandings of each other. If you've seen this channel before, you might already think you know that what women really crave before love is feeling safe. You hear these things like, you gotta be a protector or provider as a guy, and that's true, but there's a misconception. Or it can be, well, you gotta make her feel safe or this or that, or you gotta do this thing or earn enough money or be tall enough or drive a certain vehicle or lift weights or whatever it is. There's some truth to that and there's nuances to it. As a guy, have you faced yourself? Do you know what's really you or what's like, well, this is my ego or this is my wounded part or my unmet needs as a kid? Because when something in our nervous system, in our body, women are 10 times more sensitive to that. So even if you're doing well, but something feels off, women don't respond the same way. And in our world as guys, it's like, well, but everything makes sense. I'm achieving, or I can do this, or, it doesn't matter what I feel. And we think for us, it doesn't matter as much what we feel. Or we're on the other side and we're feeling everything and we're kind of like more like a girl. So then she's like, well, I have to protect myself. I have to be in charge. As a leader, as a protector, if we don't know ourselves, we can't really protect. I've done it. I've seen other guys do it. You've probably done it, where we can get a convoluted idea of something, that something should be some different way, or rationalize it. No, this is for the highest intention of me or my relationship or my health or my family or my finances. And there's some hidden benefit. There's some secondary gain. There's fear. There's something that we're getting from it by holding back, by doing the thing, by not doing the thing. And we live in such a different time now. It's 2025. 50 years ago, there really wasn't a lot of options or even depth to life, because in a lot of ways, life was undiscovered, as silly as that sounds. But you know what I'm saying is true. An iPhone didn't exist 20 years ago. I have to see when the iPhone came out. I think it was like 18 years ago or 17 years ago. So things were kind of different. You could get married at 22 and that might work. Now you get married at, a woman is 20, a guy is 22. And do you really know the depth of what is out there? 50 years ago, you'd have a relationship vision and it would say like, well, he wants kids and he has a good job and he's a good man. And that was the vision. If you even had that written down, or you just kind of knew it in your head or in your heart, that was it. Now there's such a deeper level of knowing yourself, of who you are, of what you want, of different parts of yourself. Everyone said this at some time, right? You've said, okay, part of me wants a relationship, part of me wants to be single. Part of me wants to watch Netflix on the couch, part of me wants to go to the gym, right? You have these different parts, and we can have a lower part or a less developed or an underdeveloped, kind of like an immature part, be in charge. We can go like, well, that's me. It's a part of you. And looking back at my own relationships years later, with clients, with friends, we can have that wounded boy leading the way, that pissed off teenager. And women know the difference even if they're not able to articulate it. So as a guy, do you really know who you are? Have you faced yourself? I was talking with a buddy tonight. Again, might be his own bias, but I get it because I wouldn't say I agree, but I'm similar. And he's like, well, there's this spiritual teacher, and I don't know if I can listen to them unless if they haven't worked with plant medicine, specifically talked about ayahuasca, which I've worked with a bit, he's worked with a bit. And it's like, because you can create a false you. In so many ways, you can create a false you as a Fortune 500 CEO, you can create a false you as a yoga teacher, you can create a false you as a guy who owns an insurance company, a false you as a chef. And have you really faced who you are in the mirror? Have you recognized if you're single, you're gonna be single soon, where you're like, man, I wanna go date, I wanna go have sex. Okay, that's normal, but maybe I gotta like take time for me. Do I have an inner child? That seems weird. Is that true? Is that some new age woo-woo thing? Or like, does that even make rational sense? So think of it this way. If you look at your past, you're in your 30s and your 40s, and you've had patterns you've fallen into. Maybe you're doing almost none of them. But maybe you used to drink every day and now you drink once a week. Can you go a month or a few months without any alcohol? And you're like, oh my God, I can't imagine. Okay, so you have a vulnerability that alcohol is giving you something that you kind of need it, or you need it, even if it's not every day. So can you protect your girlfriend or your future wife or your current wife, whoever level you want to look at, your kids, your future kids, from that part of you that gets kind of pushed away, numb, quiet, or it's porn, it's commenting on girls' photos on Instagram because it makes you feel important, or something new could be there even though you're in a relationship. Have you faced yourself? Do you know yourself enough from a coach, from a therapist, from psychedelics, from looking in the mirror for 30 minutes and saying nothing? It's an interesting one. Being alone in nature. Do you know what the deepest part of you wants? It's totally normal to have split parts of you. To go, well, part of me wants this, or yeah, I do want a relationship, but then what about this, or what about, this casual sex, or I gotta say goodbye to Tinder, or whatever it is. I gotta say goodbye to porn. Like, is that really who I am? So I invite you to consider, what is the best part of you actually want? And are you pursuing that? Or what are those other parts of you, those more underdeveloped, immature parts? Is there a way to get those needs met while leading from your heart and the most truest part of you? Because that's the tricky thing about women. Everything can make sense, but women can feel if something's off. I remember back to talking with a client years ago, and he was going through some stuff. When we started talking, he's like, well, I haven't told her what's going on with me. It's kind of irrelevant. He's like, I'm trying to protect her. I want her to feel safe. It's like, okay, that actually makes sense in a way on the surface, but it's like she knows and she feels, she senses, she intuits, however you want to say it, that something's not right. And because something's not right, she knows something's off. Are you cheating? Is there a money problem? Did something happen at work? Are you in a fight with your best friend? Whatever it is. Are we gonna lose the house? Am I saying tell your woman everything and be super vulnerable? Actually, no. I think you need to have deep emotional intimacy and know how to process what you're going through and what you're feeling with a friend, with another guy, with a men's group, with a trusted confidant, whoever that is, and then bring back a Cliff Notes version. Because when we make a woman our therapist, that really doesn't work. Call it life coach, call it whatever you want. So have you faced yourself, and do you really know yourself? If you haven't, it's gonna come through in your presence, whether you like it or not. Women will feel something's off with this guy. So ultimately, what women really want before love is safety. But if we don't know ourselves as guys, if we haven't faced ourselves, if we haven't integrated, alchemized, healed, all the above, whatever you want to call it, women will know, women will feel it, and it will enormously affect your results with women, whether you're single or you're in a relationship. See you guys soon.